All right, so fifth grade, today, Thursday, April the 23rd. We're going to be finding some story problems, and I do not think you're going to have a lot of difficulty with this assignment, but sometimes we do these problem solvings together. This is one of those that I kind of want you to do on your own to kind of think about it. And I will tell you ahead of time, if you do not have your metric unit chart that was attached to your assignment for yesterday, worksheet 10.5, you will want to get it. You will want to refer to that sheet today because we are using not only U.S. customary units, we are using metric units today as well. So you will want to have that sheet in front of you. And the first problem we're going to do, all right, there's going to be value in having that. So if you don't have it, pause it, get it, pause the video, go get that sheet. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Ethan works out with a 4.5 kilogram mass. What is the mass of the 4.5 kilogram mass in grams? So, my man Ethan, pumping the iron. Here we go. He is working with a 4.5 kilogram mass. What is the mass of the 4.5 kilogram mass in grams? So basically what we're trying to do is what we did yesterday, conversions. 4.5 kilograms equals how many grams? That is what we're doing. So if you look at your chart, okay, I'm just going to describe the chart because now I'm expecting you to be responsible fifth graders and have the chart in front of you. So once again, even though I said to get it before, if you didn't get it and you just kept listening, please pause the video and get that chart up on a screen, print it out, something. Should have already had it for yesterday's assignment, so hopefully it's handy. But you will need to look at it. You will notice that the kilograms, gram is the base unit that's in the middle. Kilograms is way to the left on the biggest side. So I am going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, which means the measurement is getting smaller, the number gets bigger, so I have to multiply. Well, what am I multiplying by? From kilograms to hectograms, it's times 10. From hectograms to decagrams, it's 10 times 10, which is 100. Going from decagrams to grams, it's 100 times 10, which is 1,000. So I am taking 4.5 and I am multiplying that by 1,000. Now, we've been through this before, folks. When I'm timesing by 1,000, there's 1, 2, 3 zeros. So all I'm doing is moving this decimal 1, 2, 3 places. There's 2 empty spots. I fill them in with zeros. I get 4,500 grams. That's what we're doing. All right, let's talk about my friend Alexa. Well, Alexa's all of our friends, not just my friend. But our good friend Alexa, she lives 400 yards from the school. How many inches does Alexa live from the school? So we're thinking about inches and feet and yards and feet and converting yards to inches. So I'm trying to make a conversion of 400 yards equals how many inches? Now, when we did the U.S. customary units of length, there was no conversion. There was no conversion of turning yards into inches. That's because the conversions that were on the chart were that 3 yards equals, not 3 yards, my mistake. 3 feet equals 1 yard, and 12 inches equals 1 foot. So the first thing I need to do is to take my yards and turn them into feet. And then I can take my feet and turn them into inches. So first I'm going to take my 400 yards and turn them into feet. Then I'm going to take my feet and I'm going to turn them into inches. I know that it takes 3 feet to make 1 yard. So 1 yard is bigger than 1 foot. So if I'm going to take 400 yards and turn it into so many feet, the measurement is getting smaller, so the number is getting bigger, which means I'm going to multiply. And since there's 3 feet in a yard, I'm going to do 400 times 3. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. I add the 2 zeros. I get 1,200. So 400 yards is 1,200 feet. But I need to turn that into inches. I know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So now I need to take my 1,200 feet and turn it into inches. Well, since 12 inches makes 1 foot, I know that 1 foot is bigger than 1 inch. So once again, my measurement is getting smaller, which means my number is getting bigger. So I'm going to multiply. Well, what's my multiplication problem going to be? Well, it's going to start with 1,200. And since there's 12 inches in 1 foot, I'm going to be multiplying 1,200 by 12. My base problem is 12 times 12. If you know your 12 times tables, you know that 12 times 12 is 144. These 2 zeros here have to become part of my answer. I get 14,400. 1,200 feet equals 14,400 inches. Let's look at another one. Moving right along. 2 more examples, 5th grade. Ooh, now we're talking about Melanie and how she likes to make streamers with butcher paper. I don't know if that's really something Melanie likes to do, but that's what we're doing anyway. Melanie uses a 350-meter roll of butcher paper to make streamers. How many decameters of butcher paper did Melanie use? Well, once again, you're going to have to look at that metric chart. And if you look at that metric chart, you will see that meters is one of the base units in the middle. We had meters, grams, and liters were the 3 base units. Meters is one of them. I have 350 meters. I need to figure out how many decameters that is. 350 meters equals so many decameters. So, decameters, if you look to the left of meters, that's where decameters is. So, it takes 10 meters to make 1 decameter. All right? So, 1 decameter is bigger than 1 meter. So in this situation, going to meters to decameters, since the decameter is getting bigger, my measurement is getting bigger. And since my measurement is getting bigger, my number has to get smaller. And when the number gets smaller, I have to divide. Well, what am I dividing by? Well, meters and decameters are right next to each other on your chart. Hopefully you are looking at your chart. If you're still not looking at your chart, wake up, 5th grade, and look at the chart. You will see that meters and decameters are right next to each other. It's a base 10 system. So it's only 10 times. So I'm dividing by 10. I only have to move over 1 place. So it becomes 350 divided by 10. Once again, you can use your zeros trick. The base problem is 35 divided by 1. You can do that mental math. 1 can go into 35 times, 5th grade. You know that. And then we talked about the zeros canceling each other out. There's 1 to cancel out here. There's 1 to cancel out here. There's no zeros left. My final answer is 35. 350 meters equals 35 decameters. We're going to end with my man Cooper and his pickup truck. I don't know if Cooper likes to drive pickup truck. Well, Cooper better not be driving. But maybe in about 5 or 6 years, maybe Cooper can drive a pickup truck around. I'm not sure. Cooper's truck is located with 9,000 pounds of bricks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot of brick. How many tons of brick are on the truck? Well, you're going to have to remember the conversion from U.S. customary units of weight. 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. You're going to have to remember that conversion. But I have 9,000 pounds. I have 9,000. Well, Cooper has 9,000 pounds. And he is trying to convert that into tons. Well, since it takes 2,000 pounds to make 1 ton, okay, since it takes 2,000 pounds to make 1 ton, I know that 1 pound is smaller than 1 ton, which means going from pounds to tons, since 1 pound is smaller than 1 ton, my measurement is getting bigger. When my measurement gets bigger, my number gets smaller, which means I have to divide. The question is, what is my division problem going to be? It's going to be 9,000 divided by 2,000. I want to stop and think here. Okay, 5th grade, you've got to be able to see that 9,000 divided by 2,000, all of the zeros are going to cancel out. Sometimes, 5th grade, this has to be some mental math. We can't be intimidated by these big numbers. We have to see that 9,000 divided by 2,000 is the same thing as 9 divided by 2, because the zeros just cancel out. Don't get stressed out by the bigger numbers. The zeros just cancel each other out. It's just 9 divided by 2. Now, as a 5th grader, I know this should have a remainder. But we're not going to do remainders. We're not going to say, well, there were so many we're not going to say something like there were 7 remainder 6 tons of brick on the truck. Nobody would have any idea what you're talking about. That doesn't make sense. So we need an exact answer. So I'm just going to remember my trick, folks. Fractions are division problems. Okay? I have said this, and as you get into 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, folks, I need you to remember, and I need you just to acknowledge the fact that when you see a fraction, it's just a fancy way of writing a division problem. Fractions are division problems. Yes, this is 9 over 2, but it's just a division problem. 9 divided by 2. And we know that when we turn it into a mixed number. How many times can 2 go into 9? Well, 2 can go into 9 4 times. If I take 2 into 9 4 times, there are 1 left over. My denominator here is 2, so my denominator here is 2. 1/2's in simplest form. There's no number besides 1 that can go into both 1 and 2. 9,000 pounds equals 4.5 tons. All right? We'll work on this. Thursday, April 23. Have a good day, 5th grade. Have a great day, in fact.